consonants. Now, we have some consonants. We have about 5 consonants that we have in Nez Perce language that aren't used in English. And the English language or alphabet has the B, the D, the F, G, the J, the R, the V, and the Z. We do not use those consonants in Nez Perce. Our palate did not make those sounds. Now, I might briefly talk about for our downriver brethren down there that they have a few consonants that we don't use up here. They have a S with this little hat on it, and that is a sh type of sound. And the only example I know of that where we use that is a sound effect where the white-tailed buck makes. So this would be like sh, sh. But other than that, we don't really worry about this one. So we're talking about these 5 mainly, because these can be troublesome for beginners. So we have 2 kinds of X's. Now these are pretty important. Basically the soft X and the hard X. The hard X is the one with a little dot underneath it. And you just have to use different parts of your mouth to make these sounds. So with the soft X, that's usually going to come off the roof of your mouth. And examples of that, so you can, one we use every day is lulch, lulch. And that would be coffee. And that uses the soft X. And then, so this is again, there's our short A right there, so it makes a sound, so lulch. And the hard X, that's in words like chachats. That's more in the back of your throat. Soft X off the roof of the mouth. The hard X off more in the back of the throat. So this would be pronounced lulch and chachats. We have the aspirated L, what this is called. And you might see this in different ways. It could be an L with a little loop-de-loop there, or it could be have a squiggly line through it. Typically we use this one, so it's just a regular L with a diagonal line through it. You gotta be careful and try not to make it look like a T, because we do have a T. You kind of have to push air out the side of your mouth. So we have words like slap, slap. Which is our word for butterfly. So that has that right out the side of the mouth. Your tongue is typically pressed up against your palate, and then you're going to blow air out the side of your mouth while trying to make your L sound like a typical L. But so it should be slap, slap. Okay, now going on to the C, we can use a couple more examples of this. Let's talk about this C. This is how now people are typically used to having the C sound similar to a K, but in Nez Perce the C has a tss, tss, tss type of sound, like in the English word tsetse fly. So we have that tss in there, and we can make words like tsiliech. See, there's our soft X again. Tsiliech. Kuts kuts. And we also have pits pits. The kids know most of these words. These can be difficult making these sounds if you're not used to, there's kind of an accent that comes along with growing up in a certain area, and for some people these sounds are easier to make. So really, that's why we give the English examples, that word tsetse fly. I can't think of a whole lot of examples that have that sound, but tss, 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 is that it's, you've got to almost whistle through your teeth. You're pushing air out real sharply through your front teeth. Now the Q, this can be a difficult sound to make. We have words like clean. We have words like, this will use the C, kots kots. So this one is more like a popping in the back of the throat. You're pretty much, you're using the back of your tongue, pressing it up against the back part of your palate or the roof of your mouth to make almost this pop kind of sound. It's good to try these with all the different vowels to It's little. Some of these words are tough to sound out. So we have kiun, kots, and kahel. Now it's the most difficult part I've seen is trying not to make it sound like a K. K is more in the front of the palate. The Q is more in the back of the palate. So kiun, kots, kahel.